Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loki here. Join me today as we winter sow some Verbascum seeds. So let's go. Today we're going to be winter sowing mullein, but specifically Verbascum, which is a short-lived perennial here where I live in New Hampshire Zone 5B. Although it may look or act like a perennial because of the fact that it self-sows very readily in the garden. It's been years since I've grown this plant from seed, so I'm very excited about trying it again this year. Now this video is not going to go into full detail about what winter sowing is, why do you winter sow, when do you winter sow. I'll put a link down below as well as up above with a playlist that I have that talks all about winter sowing. Even though perennial plants have been dropping their seeds for years, Trudy Davidoff, a person that worked with the USDA, came up with this general idea of winter sowing specifically inside of containers. You're going to find on the internet that there are a ton of different ways that you can do the winter sowing process. There's no one size fits all, so what I can recommend is experiment with it until you find a process that works for you. Gardening can be one big experiment, which I think is a lot of fun. So take what you get from other people's videos, websites, books, whatever you're reading about winter sowing, and then make adjustments based on your climate and where you live. You typically want to wait until the winter solstice to begin your winter sowing process, and that's generally when the nighttime temperatures fall below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. When it comes to the Verbascum seeds, you're going to find different information in terms of whether or not the seeds need a cold stratification period, which is basically giving those seeds a period of cold. Do your research because depending on the variety of Verbascum seeds that you're trying to sow, some seeds don't need a cold period, whereas other seeds do. And to be safe, if you're not sure, go ahead and just give your seeds a cold period of at least 6 weeks, and that way, that ensures you'll have a very good germination rate. Now, we're just going to be winter sowing the seeds in this milk jug here. However, I could also take the seeds and put them in my refrigerator for 6 weeks, and that would also accomplish the same task. Just like any other perennial out there, there are hundreds of different species when it comes to the mullein or Verbascum plant. It's important to note that there are some species of mullein that are considered invasive. I don't know about you, but I don't want those species in my yard, so be sure to do your research before you're sowing the seeds or growing this plant in your garden. The plants thrive in full sun. They attract bees, hummingbirds, as well as butterflies, and did you know that they are a very drought-tolerant plant? They generally bloom late spring into the summer months, and they can grow somewhere between 2 to 4 feet in height. Now, the seeds that we're going to be sowing today are considered an ornamental type of biennial or perennial plant. And the reason I say biennial or perennial is that generally speaking, this plant will not bloom for you until the second year when grown from seed. In other words, the first year, they'll create a rosette, and that's it. But then the second year, they'll bloom for you. However, if you start the seeds early enough, especially indoors under grow lights, there's a much higher likelihood that the plants will bloom for you this first year. In fact, if I have time this year, I'm planning on sowing some of the seeds indoors under my grow lights because I want to run an experiment and see if the plants that I grow indoors under grow lights in January will in fact bloom for me the first year compared to the plants that I'm winter sowing. And I'll be sure to give you an update if I end up doing that experiment. There are some really pretty garden hybrids that are out there for Verbascum. One is called Southern Charm. It comes in shades of apricot, rose, and ivory. And then another one is Royalty, and that comes in a rich violet purple color. If you have this plant in your yard, once the flowers have gone by, if you go ahead and prune the plant back or just remove the faded flowers, you might be able to get a second flush of blooms. Also, that's another way to prevent self-seeding if you don't want the plant to self-seed all over the place. I've also read that there are many medicinal benefits when it comes to growing mullein in your yard. So remember, if you're going to grow this perennial or any other perennial from seed, patience is key. The seeds of perennial plants are very slow to germinate, and when they do germinate, the plants themselves are very slow to grow. You know the saying, perennial plants sleep the first year, they creep the second year, but then they leap the third year. Personally, I think it's worth the effort and the wait because perennial plants can be very expensive when you buy them from a nursery. If you start them from seed, the patience pays off in the end. I like to use milk jugs for winter sowing. You can use whatever you like. Just make sure that your container is clear or translucent. Your container should have holes in the top to allow snow or rain to come in. And that's why I've thrown away the cap. If you find that you're running out of containers like this, you can reach out to local coffee shops. Oftentimes, they'll hold them aside for you for free. Your container should hold about 4 inches of potting mix. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark it where we're going to be cutting. I like to use heavy-duty cutting snips or shears just like this because it makes it a lot easier for me to cut my containers. You could use something like scissors or a razor, whatever you have on hand. But no matter what you use, just make sure you're safe if it's sharp. Whatever container you use, it should have drainage holes in the bottom. And the reason is you want water to be able to drain out. The larger your container, the more drainage holes you may need to add. There are different ways you can add drainage holes. I just like to use my cutting shears to do the holes. Other people have used the end of a hot glue gun. Some people have used a drill. And there are a lot of other things you can use to cut the bottom of your container. I like to cut the holes first and then cut my container over here. I find that cutting the holes first is a little bit easier because the container is still sturdier. When I cut, I'm going to be cutting starting right around here. I'm going to go almost all the way around, and I'm going to stop around here. And the reason I'm not cutting all the way through is because I want this section right here to act as a hinge. Eventually, when the seeds germinate, and I have seedlings in here, on the days that are warm, I'm going to have to open up my container, just like this. But then on the cooler days or cooler nights, if a frost is expected, I want to go ahead and close my container. So now you can see how this little hinge works on the end here. Now let's go ahead and fill our container with potting mix. I like to use used potting mix that I had in my summer container pots. You can also make your own potting mix, and I'll put a link to that down below. Or you can buy your own potting mix. Make sure you don't use seed starting mix because it dries out very quickly. If you're going to buy potting mix, make sure that it's a well-draining potting mix. You don't want the potting mix that retains moisture. Also, don't use heavy garden soil or compost if it doesn't drain well for you. No matter what you use, make sure that it's pre-moistened. After you've filled your container, go ahead and press down lightly to remove any air pockets. Here are the seeds that we're going to be sowing today. I actually bought these from Ocean State Job Lot. Many of their seeds are 40% off, which is a great deal. For the price, you can't beat it. And when you think about it, how much does one plant cost in the nursery? So for the amount of plants that we're going to grow, it's going to be such a great deal. And there's the information on the back of my seed packet. If you are going to be starting the seeds indoors, you want to start the seeds about 8 to 12 weeks before your average last frost date. There are not a ton of seeds in here, but there are enough. You can see that they're pelleted. One thing I want to say is pelleted seeds lose their viability as each year goes by. So if you are starting any seeds and you notice that they're pelleted, just be aware of that. And what's nice about a pelleted seed is you can actually see them really well on top of this potting mix. And because of that, I'm able to space these seeds out a little bit more. The nice yellow color allows for us to see where the seeds are being placed. And by the way, I have snowy spires in my garden. I collected my own seeds. I just wanted to show you that. The seeds are very tiny, and I have a lot of seeds in there. So even though we didn't sow that many seeds here, that's plenty. And outside of this video, I'll be sowing more of the seeds in a separate container. I'm also going to be sowing another Verbascum. These are seeds that my sister-in-law gave me. They're called Shades of Summer. And that's just a close-up. You can see the seeds. They are a brown color, and they're mixed in with the non-seed material, which is perfectly fine. We have plenty of seeds that we'll be sowing this year of Verbascum. I'm so excited. Verbascum seeds need light to germinate. So for that reason, I'm just pressing the seeds into the soil surface. If I wanted to cover the seeds, that would be fine, but I would only want to cover them with a very small layer of potting mix, maybe about 1/8 of an inch of potting mix, but it's not necessary. I like to add a plant label on the inside of my winter sown containers, just in case the label on the outside gets worn off. And I like to use garden markers. I find that they stay a lot longer than something like a Sharpie. Other people have used oil-based markers or pencils, and those work as well. This is just a plant label that I had on hand. Some people have used plastic knives. Other people have taken Venetian blinds and cut them up and made them into labels. Another thing you can use is a used yogurt container and cut the container up into strips. And you can use those as plant tags as well. Even though our potting mix is pre-moistened, we're going to use a hand water pump sprayer just to spray the top of the seeds. When it comes to winter sowing, it's up to you how many seeds you want to put inside of your container. There is no right or wrong, but just know the more seeds that you put in there, then the more plants that you have to tend to. So it really is a personal preference. I'm just going to wipe up the water that is on my container. I want to make sure that when I tape it up, that the tape can stick nicely to the container. I've been using duct tape for a number of years to seal up my winter sown containers. Some people like to use painter's tape. They say that it sticks to the container very well, but it comes off the container in the springtime a lot easier than duct tape. So use whatever you have on hand. Some people don't even use tape. They'll use something like a hole puncher, and what they'll do is punch a hole in the top of the container, punch a hole in the bottom of the container, and then secure the top to the bottom using something like a twist tie or a zip tie. Other people don't even use tape. They just cut the top all the way across and they nest the top into the bottom. It really comes down to a personal preference. I personally wouldn't use that method because I like being able to use the handle to pick up my container and move it around. When it comes to securing the container with tape, I like to just add a few pieces of tape to my container. I don't like to add tape all the way around, especially for perennials, because I feel like hardy perennials can take it if they germinate and a frost or a freeze comes. However, if I was going to winter sow a tender annual flower or a vegetable plant, in that case, I would put tape all the way around, just to protect my seedlings a little bit more. I'm pressing down on the tape. I want to make sure that the tape is nice and secure on my container. Let's go ahead and turn it around. And we're going to add tape on the other side here. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap over here. That is perfectly fine. I've been doing this for a number of years. It's never been an issue with hardy perennials. Again, if they germinate and they get cold in there, they shouldn't die. They should be perfectly fine. It's more of a concern when you're winter sowing plants that will die if they get frozen. I'm going to use my garden marker again, and I'm going to label the outside of my container. I like to just put the name of the plant on here. Some people don't want to do all that writing, which is totally fine. Instead, they may use a numbering system, like where they put the number 1 on the tape, and then on a piece of paper, on their phone, a spreadsheet, they will say 1 equals verbascum. And then they might do number 2 on a different container. And then on their paper, 2 equals the name of the plant. It really is up to you how you want to do it. I'm also going to add a label on this side of my container. This is optional. The reason I like to do that is so that I can see what is in each of my containers very easily, because I have a number of containers out there and I don't want to have to be picking them up and turning them around to see what's in them. You want to place your containers out in the open where snow or rain can come inside the holes that are in the top of your container. In other words, you don't want to place them under a covered porch, eaves, or anything like that. If your containers are out where it's very windy, you may need to put something around your containers to keep them from falling over. The verbascum seeds will germinate when the soil conditions are right for those particular seeds. And if you're winter sowing a bunch of different seeds, just know that different seeds germinate at different times. It depends on those individual seeds that you're winter sowing. Watering those winter sown containers is critical. Now, where I live, during the months of January, February, and even into March, my winter sown containers basically freeze. So what that means is even though a little bit of snow and rain will enter those containers, I don't need to water those containers at all. But once my containers start to thaw out, at that point, I'll be watching them very carefully, and I like to just lift them up. And if they feel very light, I go ahead and I give them some water. I like to use something like a hand water sprayer, and I just add water in the hole of each of my winter sown containers. Where you live, your containers may actually never freeze during the winter. So it's very important to start checking those containers from day one. And again, if they seem like they're very light or very dry, you want to be sure you're diligent about giving water. And as long as your containers have good drainage holes in them, you can never really overwater them. So don't worry about that. Let me know in the comments if you have verbascum in your garden. Or are you going to be growing the plant from seeds indoors or using the winter sowing process? I plan on making an updated video once my verbascum seeds have germinated. I'll also show you my process for taking the seedlings out of the winter sown container and getting them out in my landscape. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.